And this is why I created this platform. I created this platform at least 10 years before I came home, because I seen those men going home and staying home and doing stuff for their community, giving back. So I told myself when I come home, I said, I want to highlight those men. And these men used to come back to the prison. So we had college graduations that the prison, the superintendent allowed us to come back in, those formerly incarcerated that was in the college program, to come back in and speak on their behalf and what they're doing. And so that inspired me. And so I said, when I go home, I want to make sure I highlight these men. I didn't know any women at the time, but I said I know it was plenty of women that's home and that's staying home and giving back to their community positively. And that's the success in itself. It's not about money. It's not about gaining, any monetary, amounts of money. It's about, what you're doing for yourself and your family in society to making it right, what you made wrong.
Yeah.
So I appreciate this moment, this time. I just want to quickly just introduce my brother, Michael Marshall. He's in the building. He doing a lot of walking around. Like he looked like he mountain climbing. But it's all good. It's all good. This is another success after lockdown member. He served 30 years in prison. We both started this together in prison, and we never stayed out of touch. It didn't matter what prison they sent us to. Our families always kept us in touch with each other. So with
Right.
that said, I'd like to introduce you, Mike Muhammad, to Miss Chastity.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm on a hike right now. Yeah, I was listening to your lived experience. Very interesting. You're right in a lot of ways with women becoming a new form of incarceration, but I think that had a lot to do with the males and the lives that we live that is being mimicked in the kids. But we both work here, we both work with the youth, and I think that once we sit down with them and start guiding them, even our women, the women want they've been so to believe that they can just do it themselves. And what I had to come to terms with that I can't do anything myself. Everything's a team effort. And once you instill that into them, that things a team effort, even it takes a lady at the grocery store to shine light into my life. That's an effort. Because if I go to the grocery store and I see an individual with terrible attitude, my day may be twisted. Right? So it takes a team effort for a person's day to be blissful. So I think once we start that, we'll begin to see everything's a team effort. Every day you wake up and you encounter people. Good morning, it works out. We need to feel that in our kids, and every individual. I think a lot of things that we do are embedded too personally. We have to let a lot of things go. It's not that serious. I think that starts with us feeling, forgive ourselves for the things that we've made in life. And we're able to move on. That same love on. But a lot of us hold on to the pain and regret, saying that I should have did that. And that's painful. And I think this starts as kids as well.
No, Mohammed, pardon me for cutting you off. Could you share with us like something that you never shared, something that you did in prison that you continue to do out here? If there's anything that anything that's dealing with your mental health that that like, damn, this still got a hold of me.
Well, what I've noticed is that self-love is pivotal for me in protecting my peace. So when people come to individuals, a lot of stuff is a them issue, which means you're feeling a certain way. That's a you issue because feelings are only meaningful to me. And I say that to say, to give you an example, if I feel a way about individuals stepping on my shoe and I want to kill them, That's a me issue. Issues that I need to take care of internally, mentally, right? The more meaning I put on an individual life, the more dangerous it becomes. So I don't attach myself to things at all. It's not that serious. And I keep that as my safe space. I think individuals take everything too seriously in life, and it causes not only them stress, but it can actually harm others. So the thing is to not take things too seriously, where it affects you, and then in turn it affects someone else. So these are things that I've learned upon my travels to attach these things to myself, or just maybe I tell individuals a lot is that they need to sit with themselves and to figure out who they are. You know, don't go in the streets, don't go out, stay in, work, come back, stay in and figure out who you are. Ask yourself certain questions and define these things for yourself. Then the world will open up because you know who you are, no one can define you. So I think I've sat with myself long enough to touch on who I am, what I'm capable of, my shortcomings, what I need help with, and who can help me these things. Because I can't do it alone. I need a certain assistance, whether just to sit down with someone just to listen to me. These things help.
Yeah, and so that's pardon me again. That's why I mentioned it, Chastity. I mentioned that to him because I want you to witness two individuals that served a lot of time in prison that were with each other, that went through the things that we all go through. If I could say those real strict and I guess thorough mental health cases, those mildly mental health cases, those that come home and that didn't, I guess, take this self introspection, but I was talking about, like really serious with themselves while incarcerated. I think that was very important to me, to where I came home and I know that I'm not walking in this shower with no damn slippers on because I know I'm home. You know what I mean? Like a lot of my brothers do it. A lot of them, a lot of brothers that I know came home still taking the shower slippers in the shower in their house. You know what I mean? So I'm just giving an example of these type of things that they haven't shared yet. You know what I mean? That they go through. My brother, which I know that you'll meet soon, but my partner, my co-host, Anthony Cologne, we grew up together out of the Bronx, New York. He's my co-host. He couldn't be here today with us, but I know that we'll have another segment with you again, with me and him, both of us. You know, we the 1-2 punch. So we definitely, and this is dear to his heart, the mental health aspect, because he was a person that went through a lot of mental health issues. And came out successful within himself. You know, he did 22 years, a total of 22 years in and out of prison. Um, and only to be home now after 5-6 years now with his own business, his own company, and he's doing very well. With that said, is I definitely know that how serious this mental health issue is. Could you share some things, Chastity, with us, with our family audience, of what you've seen? Um, I mean, with just anybody. Not, I don't know if I want to take your husband or
I
just
mean, no, just in general with our research. So with the research, people can take the survey. And when they take the survey, what we're able to do, we've created so many tools with it. It's insane. The amazing thing about it is there's several things that we are doing with it. One, you can take the survey, and you can take it, your family members can take it, and we can create a communication tool in between you and whoever your support system is. So you take it. The data is scrubbed by our students at the college, at the university, and all answers are confidential, but then we get a report and a generalized report back. And we sit down with you and we create a communication tool. We like to grab folks that first 90-day window when they first come home, that is our ultimate goal, is to grab them. But if folks have already have come home, then we have another way that we work with those folks. But we can also tell you what level of PICS that you have. A 1, 2, 3, or 4. Not everybody's is the same. So your severity level of PICS,
That's
right?
right.
We are also petitioning. We also have an intake form that we use to create assessments. And so we have linked up with an agency to where we can offer services nationwide for therapy and case management. And so what we do is our intake form, along with whenever you take that survey, it's a compound. We compound those two together, and we use that as a supporting document to give to your therapist. Because guess what? Your therapist can't really relate to you, right? But that compound document given to your therapist or whoever that you're going to be talking to, even to your employer, they understand you and why you're having these situations or why you're dealing with these things mentally until PICS is deemed a disorder, because that's the overall goal. We want this deemed as a disorder with the APA, American Psychiatric Association, right?
I like this behind it.
Yeah. And so we've seen different things. We've had people tell us, we came home and I couldn't eat with a metal fork because I've been eating with plastic for so long. We've had people tell us that, you name it, we've seen it. They when them and their significant other are out together, she feels so she has anxiety being out with him because he's so like, come here, stand with me here, turn around this way. They can't enjoy being out together because he's so paranoid being around people and he's so protective of her. Or I've had a gentleman say, like, he cleans his space and it has to be a certain way. And being in the home with somebody else, they can't understand that it's his space and it has to be serene and clean and has to be a certain way. And so those communication plans are very vital, so that person that you're coming home to understands why this person is moving this way, and then they can understand why you're moving this way, and so you can communicate. Because there's some things that you cannot say to a person because mentally you don't understand why you're doing it. You're just doing it, and you don't understand how to relay that to somebody.